Coming to you from the historic Hart Building in Marysville, California, in Studio 93, in the Tank with Fish, with your host, Bob Fischetti.
All right, we want to welcome you to this episode. I think it's episode 43 and a half. I have no idea.
Feels like 900.
In the Tank with Fish and a Minnow. And we're going to have a great guest today. She's fun.
She is.
She has a name easy to pronounce.
Yep, I can do this one.
And I want you to know, she has a fondness for bread.
Oh, I know.
A specific one.
Yes, she has tried mine.
We're going to make up a new bread. You know, it's like, you're going to name a bread. You couldn't name a bread after me because there's no such thing as fish bread. Nobody is eating fish bread.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You couldn't even call it sour fish bread.
No, that would, I think we would go under. We'd go out of business. We have the Big Dill, which is actually a really fun name.
Oh.
It's dill, sharp cheddar, and roasted garlic. And it's, you know, because it's kind of a big dill. But no, I don't think we could do fish bread.
We have to come up with something else.
We'll let the boys name it. How's that?
Yeah.
They'll come up with something creative.
Yeah, I am not going to, this episode, I am not talking about that other bread.
Okay.
I'm not going to mention it.
Well, that's good. I actually have a bone to pick with you because I don't remember when it was. A couple weeks ago, I saw you. We were out and about. And you didn't tell me I had a giant booger. I got back in the car. You just let me go about my day with a boogie in my nose. No. And I thought we were friends. So actually.
Did that? Wow.
I know.
I didn't notice. I don't know.
Friends. Okay. If that's the case, then that's okay. But if you notice, you're like, I didn't want to say anything.
Oh no, I just said something.
Okay, all right.
I just said, you want to take care of that?
Yeah, you want to take care. You got a bat in the cave.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the deal. Okay.
Don't look at Kurt. He can't help you here.
No. All right. So 52 years ago, I looked into a set of brown eyes, and I found out you get lost in them, right? And so you have brown eyes.
Oh, is that what happened?
I probably don't notice anything
All right, you
else.
just schmoozed your way out of this.
That was rough.
We'll let it slide. I'm trying to teach the boys, like, if somebody has something on their face, you let them know. Like little things, right? Like we'll go out to dinner and I'm like, do a tooth check. Like, because someday you're going to be on a date with somebody and they're going to be mortified if they go into the bathroom when they get home and they've got like an olive blocking a tooth, you know, it looks like they've got no tooth there.
Yeah.
The boys are pretty good about it.
So Kurt and I have a Kelly we're enamored with. Is that a good word?
Kurt's like, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good, you know. It's when you wear the hat.
Oh, yeah. I know. I got to change it up, though. I mean, I guess I could wear hats every episode.
I don't know about that, but
yeah. You wear the Hawaiian shirt.
There's a sort of anticipation about it.
You look like Carly Simon. Do you know who that is?
She's a singer, right? Singer-songwriter?
Yeah. Yeah, when you wear the hat, I don't know, just something about it. It's like you got that Carly Simon thing going on.
It changes the whole vibe.
Yeah, well, you know, she's famous for the song Anticipation.
There you go.
But she also, with the one, You're So Vain. And I don't think I want you singing You're So Vain.
No, that's not my jam.
All right, we're going to be back with our guest, Maria Balt. She'll be in. You guys are going to love this little gal, huh?
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart. All right, we'll be right back, and then I'm knocking the mic around. And
easy there.
We'll be right back, and this is one of those I guarantee fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can you guarantee?
I think you can guarantee
fun. We'll be right back. 93Q Radio was an opportunity for what's called an LPFM to give the community a voice.
The big part of what's happening here is it's us. It's the community of us.
The work that Mr. Fischetti has done with us to promote public education has been absolutely groundbreaking.
They have the pulse of our community, from the nonprofits to the local governments. If you want to find out what's happening in our community, get on board with 93Q.
And 93Q does so much to help our community, helps us promote our local events, as well as local businesses, and tell our story about what we do here in Yuba-Sutter.
The folks that work here, they're part of our community, so they understand our needs, and that's important.
Local radio is so important during times of emergency. They're there. We lean on them to provide information to our public.
My wife and I are glad to support 93Q. We're going to do it on a monthly basis, but I really recommend that if you want to make your community better, this is a great place to take a first step right here.
So if you can, reach deep into your pocket and give to 93Q.
93Q is a great partner for law enforcement, and they're a great partner for the Yuba-Sutter area.
We're really asking people if you can give $10, $15, $20 a month, and then that enables us to continue to put small business spots on the air, nonprofits, organizations that are they're using every dollar they got just to operate, and they don't have extra money to spend on really promoting their cause. And that is why community radio, to me, I'm grateful to be part of it, and that's why it's important.
Welcome back. We have on Maria Ball, who is one of my favorites here locally, if I'm being honest. You just are.
Oh, wow.
You really are.
It's good to be a favorite.
I know, right? I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Well, I mean, if she did just go, we got Maria Ball, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's on
whatever.
Nobody knows her. They don't even know why she's here. Well, actually, I was standing out front. She was walking down the street. I said,
"What's
come
your
on
name?
in.
We can pronounce it. Come on in.
Yeah.
We'll have you on our show."
Let's go.
So we've been like singing to her.
We have, actually.
There's a lot of Maria songs.
There are a lot of songs.
So have you heard that like all your life?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You are not doing anything new.
No, but I
I'm
love
gonna
it.
make up one.
I love it. I love it. So at the chamber gala, they would play songs as we walked up to the stage, and mine was "How do you solve a problem like Maria?"
Oh, yeah. See, I didn't even think of that one.
Yeah, how do you solve a problem?
I did the Officer of the Year as a chaplain for Yuba City PD, so they asked me would I do the invocation, and my son Pablo was doing the music. Mm-hmm. So they called me out, and he started playing AC/DC Back in Black.
Oh, yeah.
And I went, all right, I'll just go with it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, it's like, walk-on music. If you could,
Yes, your walk-on song.
if you could pick your walk-on song, what would it be?
I wanna rock. For real, I'm a rocker. I'm a rocker in the land of country.
Yeah.
I'm not like I'm sorry, I have to say it right now. I'm a rocker in the land of country.
Yeah.
And I'm not a huge country fan. Mm-hmm. So I'm like I'm a fish out of water.
Yeah.
She's clever.
I told you. I warned you, actually.
What's your walk-on music?
I think it's Brown Eyed Girl.
Oh, that's a good one. Very good one.
I think that actually was my chamber walk-on. It was.
It might have been.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
but that would have been my
one.
pick, even though nobody asked me what my pick would have been. Yeah.
That's really good.
Okay, Fish, what's yours? That's a toughie, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because I play music, and so I just like so many songs. I'll go with Back in Black. It's a great thing to kind of walk in. Yeah,
it's a good.
It's got I need some a little punch, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It fits you.
Yeah. So what's the alternative? Some song about fish?
I know. I'm trying to think in my mind of
No.
good songs about fish, unless you did like the Jaws theme.
Oh,
Dun, dun, dun.
oh,
Dun, dun.
New intro music from Kurt.
Yeah. Kurt's sitting there writing stuff down, man. Wait, I'm going to put this in there, right? In the post-production, there'll be a shark going across.
Oh, that's cool.
So how did I meet you, Maria? I've known you for some time, on and off, and I think, did you ever do real estate?
Yeah, I'm a real estate agent.
For who?
That's how Kelly and I know each other. For Showcase, Donna and Ernie Phelan.
I think that was it.
I met you. They were kind of new to the community at that time. And we did a big event, and we called it the Brigada. And you came to that. You came out, and that's how I met you. And then later on, just through the chamber, because I've been on the board of the Chamber of Commerce since the dawn of time, and I've been an ambassador for the Chamber of Commerce. And so just through those different events, we interfaced, and then coming in on 93Q, and then rolling into the food bank. So we go way back, buddy. Way back.
I know. It's really
guys are practically besties.
I know. It's true. It's true.
Does the food bank carry specialty bread?
Stop it. No, but they serve it at their dinners.
Oh, yes, we do. That was like, you had to pay like the top level sponsor to get the bread.
Yeah. It's like, no kidding. So did you grow up here? I mean, you kind of said, well, not really. You're right, musically. And actually, the number one radio station in this area was actually out of Sacramento, and it was called The Wolf. And it was a country station. Yeah. And one day, they just changed format, and they were Spanish. I mean, just like that. And so all of a sudden, the most listened to station in our area was gone, right?
You just solved a mystery for me, because it was a set pre-tune on my car. And then
all of a sudden, you're like, what's going on?
Yes.
They didn't tell anybody. They just did it.
Is that what they do in radio?
Mm-hmm.
They just, you're done?
And leave?
Yeah, I mean,
they don't say anything.
It's commercial radio. I worked commercial radio for a while. It's very different because they are always looking for what their market is, because obviously it's about sales,
sure,
right? And so if a particular genre isn't working, and one of the things that's happened is when Nielsen. Arbitron used to be the rating agency for radio, and they switched to Nielsen. And something in the way that they did rating stuff aced out easy listening smooth jazz. And that's why smooth jazz, all of a sudden, nobody wanted it as a genre. And we had a smooth jazz station, I can't remember what it was out of Sacramento, and it was just gone. So everybody was changing their format. So they're always looking for the format that'll pull in the greatest clientele. I love what I'm doing now because I don't have to do that. We play everything.
I know. I love it. I love the variety of music that you play.
It's good.
It's really cool.
I was out here the other day, and we were playing some worship song from Hillsongs or something, and I'm listening to it, and I'm going, that's a really cool worship song. And then it ends, and I've got Led Zeppelin, Whole Lot of Love. And I just went, well, God's a whole lot of love, works for me, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just, what was that? Yeah. We just took a left turn. Yeah. So are you from here, did you say, or no?
No, I'm not from here. I moved up here in 1997.
Where were you? Where were you born and raised?
So I'm a Valley girl.
Oh my gosh! I actually played that song the other day. Do you remember that?
Of course I remember that. It's her theme song. That's not my walk-up song, but I do remember it. So I'm from the San Fernando Valley, and so legit Valley girl. Yeah. And the company, went to high school. Actually moved to more towards the coast. My parents got too hot down in the San Fernando Valley. We moved to Ventura County area in Camarillo. And then I was working for a company, and it was a computer manufacturer in Southern California in Westlake. And they moved to Sacramento, the company did. And I had just high enough position in human resources to where they'd pay for me to go.
Wow.
And so they paid for me to move, and moved all my stuff and helped me get into a place. And so I moved to Sac. And then I met my husband. And then we were looking for a home, and homes were dirt cheap in Yuba City and Marysville.
Yeah.
Right? And so I didn't even know what Yuba City and Marysville were. And I remember seeing a Walgreens commercial, and they were panning all of the orchards with all the pretty flowers. And I said, Ted, where is that? Where's Marysville? He's like, yeah, go check it out. So we went, and we were looking at new houses, and we bought a house, and the rest is history. So
I ended up here. I was living in Elk Grove, and I was actually an evangelist, and I had stopped in this little church on Queens Avenue. They had asked me to come speak, and the next thing I know, they asked me to be pastor, and we were moving here, and I was in my prayer room praying, Lord, I'm ready to leave California. I love the mountains of Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
I love the mountains of Oregon. and he sent me to the mountains of Yuba City.
To the Sutter Buttes. No.
You've got mountains.
Yeah.
I'm like, you got to really be clear with God about what you want. Just mountains. You can't just say mountains, right? It's got to be. But I love it here.
Yeah, I do
Maria,
too.
I just love this area.
I do too.
You know, it's a great place to live. Do you have children?
I do. I have 3 kids.
What a way. So when you moved up here, did you already have kids?
No.
So so you know this is a great place to raise kids. You know.
And I'm still living in that same house.
Are you really?
Yeah, so I'm a real estate agent, and I live vicariously through all my clients.
Yeah.
And I watch them painstakingly move, and I think, no, I'm never going. I'm staying here forever.
Every time I move, I say I'm never doing this again.
Oh.
Ever again.
I know.
I told my wife we're not selling. I think we've been in the house for 30 years, but but it's like I like my house, and then people say, "Wow, you know how much you could get for your house," and it's like, okay, my payment's $700 a month.
Yeah.
Tell me where I'm going to live for $700 a month.
Not anywhere you want.
Nowhere.
Not anywhere you want.
No.
You should
I'll
have said,
I'll rent you a room.
I was thinking you said my garage is available. It's like, do you like real estate? I mean, you're so outgoing. You could probably do anything. We're going to get into the sales thing.
Yeah, right.
Did
Yeah.
you like sales?
I'm in it for the people.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm a people person, and, you know, when you're a real estate agent and you're walking with these people through this huge purchase, right? Because it's home, and how many emotional attachments we have to our home, and helping people break that attachment when they're selling, and helping people find a new place to go. It's totally rewarding. It's a roller coaster, and it is not for the timid. Am I right?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It's not for the faint of heart at all.
Yeah, no. So it's a lot more than I think people understand, but it's super rewarding. I love it. I love it, and it is my first love. But the food bank captured my heart as well. So
There is some,
I'm
you
doing
know,
both.
I remember, I think it was Michelle Downing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
could be wrong.
No, it was Michelle Downing.
Michelle.
But actually, I'm going to have her on the air.
Yeah, she's awesome.
And then I want to get her in the tank, so I just talked to her recently. But I know that you know, when we're kind of going through the pandemic, she said a couple of things to me that amazed me. She said, we have found so many families that were in need.
Yeah.
They discovered where they were. And so I told her, I said, man, we need to start saying, let's help the food bank till nobody goes hungry.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason for anybody to go hungry. I mean, there's so many great things happening with the food bank. Free food. I think you and I were talking about fresh produce.
Yes.
Different things that are available. And it's like, okay, so let's stay on that because people are willing to give to the food bank. Let's get it distributed. And I just got out of the military, believe it or not, last year, and I got deployed during COVID, and I got deployed to the task force for the Guard had been doing the food banks in California, and then they pulled them out because of the trouble in LA, and then we got called in to backfill them in all these food banks. And so I was getting all the information. I was blown away by how much food passes through our food bank.
Oh, yeah.
It is over the top. I don't know if people realize that.
They
But
don't.
it's needed. It's not like the food just passing through there.
I think a lot of people don't even really know we have a food bank or really what a food bank is. I think people think of a food pantry, and we are the food bank. So we are a large warehouse where we receive donations from all different places, and we're trained to receive the donations properly. So we have food safety training, and we're bringing it in, and we're making sure it's top notch, and then we're displaying it out for other nonprofits to come and get it as well. And on top of that, the food bank goes out into the community and distributes food as well. So there's a big push towards produce now. So I think there's a stigma of government cheese and funky canned goods.
There's nothing
And-
wrong with government cheese.
The government cheese
It
actually makes a
great
mean grilled cheese.
sandwich.
I know. Everybody says that. The
It
government
is.
cheese.
I mean, it's like, I don't know, the government, they got one thing right.
It's legit. The cheese. Yes.
That's funny. Go
So,
ahead.
but yeah, no, the government cheese and just canned goods and just, you know, marginal food that, you know, people's discards, right? But it's so much more than that. It's really beautiful food that we get from the grocery stores. And we all know how much marketing goes in and how much the bakeries bake and the produce comes in and the meat comes in. And they're constantly cycling that out, based on best by dates, right? And not expiration dates. So they're just, they move it out, they cycle it out, they give it to us, and we get it right out to the people. So it's beautiful food. And the produce that we had discussed. So right now, we just got a renewal on a grant for $600,000 over a 2-year period that will go to an aggregate who will purchase directly from low-income farmers, and then that produce comes to us.
Yeah.
So we were a part of a pilot program, and it got renewed. So we got $600,000 for the next 2 years.
Wow.
Now that's the thing that helps people receiving the food.
Yes.
The food bank in terms of distribution, but farmers that are smaller farmers and local ones, right?
Yes.
So it's a win for everybody
It
in
is.
the process.
It totally is, and we're so excited to be a part of it. We just got word that it got renewed, and so this is really making a difference to a lot of those smaller, marginal farmers that are struggling to survive. So it's super exciting, and the produce is fantastic. It is just, it's farmers market style produce that in a variety of produce that you may not see in the grocery stores. And then on top of that, we partner with other agencies, the education piece, to teach people how to eat, right?
Yeah,
So-
I could probably use lessons.
Well, and you have to wonder, like, some of the stuff, I used to drive and do deliveries for Food Bank. And a lot of, like, what's delivered is, like, if you didn't grow up cooking it, do you know how to properly prepare some of that stuff, right? Like, if you didn't grow up in an ingredient-only household where you cooked all your food, if all you've ever, eaten or been exposed to is
Was
prepackaged Cheetos and, Hamburger Helper, which there's nothing wrong with it, but there probably becomes this whole other piece of figuring out how to properly prepare food.
Yeah, nobody knows how to make eggplant parmesan.
That's a toughie.
No. Nor should they. Just saying.
Wow.
I don't like eggplant.
So,
But if you put the Parmesan all over it, though,
then it's fine.
I'm
I mean,
good.
drown
I'm
it in
good.
Parmesan, I'll eat it.
so I think Maria's fearless.
You do.
Yeah, I think you are willing. I see it in Kelly. That's
Yes.
one of the reasons I asked. I begged Kelly. I literally followed her downstairs out in front of the elevator. Come on, Kelly, do a show with me, right? Because after I interviewed her, she is open to trying something different, and we're enjoying it. Well, I'm enjoying it. She's suffering
I'm tolerating
it. She's still, the jury's out on that one, Maria. But
Kurt actually pays me to be here. Just to make it more tolerable for
who
him.
do you think pays Kurt?
Yeah, not you.
And so you just appear that way to me. You appear to be, I'm open to making a change. I mean, I've lived like that. I've done so many different jobs. Even doing this is all new. There's a whole new territory for me. But you just seem that way to me, that you would do that. But then you love the food bank. You love where you're at.
I do.
But how did Maria get there?
Oh
Of
my
all the
gosh,
different
I know.
things, it's like, why in particular is that more exciting than jumping out of an aircraft? I mean, I don't know what.
Well,
which
you're
I
never
think
gonna
you
get
might
me to do that. No, that's
We
one
found
thing. That's one thing I'm not doing. And there's that.
she didn't even want to get in the elevator. I don't know. 3 floors. You guys can't bring it downstairs.
We're having this interview outside.
So the story of the food bank it's really Jackie Silman, and she's going to be watching this. So I'm sure.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi.
So she saw it in me, and she, and I was originally invited to participate in a development committee just to help raise money for the food bank, which I'm on every committee under the sun. And so I was like, oh yeah, let's do it. Let's raise some money.
Wait. You're not on every committee under the sun.
Oh, is there? Did I just?
Uh-oh, you're
Did I
about
just
to be
sign
on
myself
another
up
committee.
for another committee?
Oh I'll just let that simmer for a little bit there, Maria.
I'm just going to leave that right there.
So I apologize. So go ahead.
So I was invited to actually help raise money for the food bank.
Yeah.
And then as a result of that, was volunteering and just got to know the business and got to know, how things work there. There's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Yeah. Right? A lot of different government programs, a lot of different.
The regulations.
Yeah. Yes, for
all
sure.
the regulatory things that happen when you start touching food.
And like you said, the amount of food that's going in and out of there, and how we run lean and mean at the food bank. There's 12 employees that are running that place, and we're feeding 30,000 people every month. So it's quite a bit. So Jackie, they were in between directors at the time, and Jackie said, "Hey, Maria, would you consider just maybe being a consultant and just kind of sticking around to help out and just be there for the employees?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, sure."
Jackie Silman is exactly.
She worded that so nicely.
Okay, wow.
So I did that, and then cool. I just kept getting more and more involved in it, and things just kind of kept going. And I was resistant because the board of directors actually offered me the position, and I said no. I'll still stick around, but no. And then it just evolved, and then eventually, I came to Jesus. I was like, okay, Lord, this is where you want me to be. I could tell. And
I think that's significant to be. I know I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah.
I think no matter how rough things get, then you're like, nope. I'm here.
Yeah.
I volunteered because you said so, and Lord, I'm going to do it. I think that is critical.
Yeah.
We tell people all the time, I want you to want to be here.
Yeah.
And you need to know that, not me, right? And that makes a difference. Right. So how long have you been at the food bank?
So I started as a consultant in October of 2022, and I became the director in June of 23.
Wow.
So it's been just a year. Yeah, just a year as director. So
it fits you, don't you think it does?
It does.
Oh,
it's sort of like okay, so what does that mean exactly? Do I look like a food director?
Well, I love food. Let's be real.
I like food.
You gotta feed the people.
I should have a job in food. Yeah. So what does your husband do? Because you said you guys met.
Yes.
Did you work for the same company?
So he was already here in Sacramento, so I didn't meet him till I moved here. But my husband's in construction, so he's a construction inspector. So he inspects as they build structural and.
I was going to say, did you tell him, honey, you build them, I'll sell them?
Eventually, that's kind of something that we wanted to do. I want to be Kelly Zimmerman when I grow up and do stuff like that. But not right now. But yeah, he's the construction guy, and he helps me out a lot in real estate. He's my sign guy, delivers my signs for me and helps me continue because I do have quite a bit of a client base that I don't want to let go, financially.
I was going to ask you that. Because I know the lady that sold us our home, now she's long since retired, but she was just so good at it, And if I'd ever was going to buy another home or sell mine, I looked her up. But that happens, doesn't it? People connect with it's like I have my mechanic, right? So people have their real estate agent.
Yes, yes, and I'm a very loyal person, and I think as a result of that, it just kind of fosters that loyalty, and so I do have quite a few clients that are referring to me, and so I'm basically by referral only now because I don't have the capacity that I had before, but I do still sell real estate and
wow,
yeah. So
told you she was brave.
I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know. Maybe I'll move from brave to crazy. I'm not sure. We might have to change that. It's a fine line, really.
Yeah. So.
Well, but you enjoy them both.
I do.
You enjoy what you do, and so it's not like.
Yeah.
How long have you known Maria?
Probably 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah.
And it's through real estate.
Yeah. Because I do lending, so
yes,
we go hand in hand.
Oh, yes. You do lending? Can I borrow some money? I want to buy a house.
No, sir. I know this is a volunteer-run station.
You have to have an income, Fish. I can't just loan you money. We're not one of those Italian corporations.
Yeah, exactly.
We own the station now, right? It's like. So do you have? I know you love what you're doing, but you just mentioned something. So you actually are still looking down the road. You're still open to possibilities of, like, hey, my husband and I, we could build places and sell them and do something. You guys might even. Did you ever tell him, hey, when can we do the ad on here in our house? Does he ever have to hear that?
Oh, please. So our house is like, the projects never get finished.
Oh, God, that's my house.
The construction worker's house, or what do they say? The people that are like cosmeticians don't do their hair. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's like the cobbler's kids.
That's what I'm looking for. But so Ted doesn't really have time. But he's also one of those people that will not let anybody do anything for him. Right? He is the guy. So I'm like, okay, honey, you have to let go of something.
Hire somebody.
Yes, at some point. So because he can fix anything, he can fix cars and vacuum cleaners and build anything, do anything, and we're getting to that prime age in life where it's like, you got to kind of let something go.
Oh, you don't have a choice. Yeah, age will cause you to understand you can't do all that.
Right.
Well, you don't need to. There's some things that are not worth your time, and so it's easier to let somebody else come in and do the job.
Yes.
Delegate, hire out, and free that time up for other things.
Invite the grandkids up, buy a lot of ice cream, and they mow your lawn.
I think mine cost more to feed though than it would cost to hire a landscaper.
Teenagers can consume an entire refrigerator. You didn't bring the groceries and you put them down and you got empty bags. Well, I don't have to put them away.
Yeah, I know.
How old are your kids?
So my oldest is 25, my middle is 21, and my daughter is 19. Yeah.
Is anyone still at home with you?
So my oldest son is he graduated college, he's gainfully employed. He's with us saving money for a house. My middle son was in college, but is now getting ready to go into the Air Force.
Oh, good for him.
And then, and then
I am so pro-military.
Really, just getting ready to go, do MEPS and all that. Right now, we're knee deep in the middle of him going into the Air Force, and so I'm.
Yeah, don't let him talk to me. He'll be running because at first it's very different.
Yeah.
And Kurt and I actually were both security forces in the Air Force. Both of us were cops. Does he know what he's going to do?
So he's still in the process of picking out everything. Because they tell you to pick out 10 jobs or something, and they did that to us during Vietnam, but it was no, you're a cop. Yeah, you're doing.
I put in for still photo lab and air traffic controller. You're a cop. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
that's exciting. So, and then what's the youngest one?
So she's in college. She goes to Sonoma State, and she's home for the summer.
Sonoma.
She'll be a sophomore.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Anyone following in your real estate?
Nobody.
Steps?
Okay. I gave birth to 3 uber shy children.
Oh my gosh.
God played a trick on me. So I have they're just not the outgoing they're very well adjusted human beings that can talk to people, but it's not their gift, right? They're more of the
Is your husband
the introverted. So Ted's an introvert, but he has kind of come out of his shell, and he will talk your ear off. Okay, so if you get into a conversation with him, he can talk, but it's not his. He doesn't work the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm solo. I'm flying. I'm the room worker of the family, flying solo.
Everyone else is against the wall over here. Look back around, Mom, when you're done.
They go. Where's your family? The right.
They went home. They left me.
Well, they were here. I don't know. They left.
Yeah, but it's funny though. My kids say, "Mom, how should I respond to this?" They ask me different things about communication and stuff, because that's my job, communicating. That's my job, and then Ted's the fixer. So Ted is fix this for me, Dad. How do I do this, Dad? You know? So it's interesting. But no, nobody wanted to learn my skill.
Man.
That's
I was like,
amazing.
dang it.
Yeah.
It's
leave your legacies.
I know,
Pass
right?
it along.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's really funny. Kids are, and they're never alike. They're all different.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I don't care if you had 87 kids. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you'd be dead behind that. But you know, they'd all have they have very unique personalities.
Right.
But that's interesting that you know your husband's more the introvert and you're the extrovert, and they all decided I'm gonna be like Dad.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I don't know, it's like
We don't want to have to work a room. We'll be
Yeah.
quiet like that. Yeah.
But you know, then there's some people that can work the room, present company included. But you don't get energy from it. It drains
Yeah.
you. So like my daughter can be social and can, you know, work the room, so to speak, but then it drains her. So then she's got to go in and kind of recoup. And so for me, I get energy from it. I get energy from people and it energizes me. But I think some people it drains them. It's interesting.
I need like 2 days to recover after an event.
Right?
wow.
It takes
So
me until next
how-
week after a fish morning.
Yeah.
And then I've got.
She needs downtime.
This is why we can only film once a week.
No wonder when I said we should do this every day, her eyes got this.
what?
What?
When would I
Are
recover?
you out of your mind? 24 hours is not enough, you know? Well,
Yeah.
so I'm really grateful that I had a chance to talk to you and get you to come in because I did want to talk about the food bank and where it's at and why it's important and you know to the community. But you know really you know why it's important to you and you know you tell us well that's how I ended up there. Jackie Silman's the culprit.
Yes.
You know I think
love her,
Jackie
though.
Silman is behind a lot of things. Jackie.
She is.
True.
She
And
is.
so, because she's such a motivator for others, she does. You know, she kind of. I told her one time. I said, "Man, you know, you really help people get further down the road."
She does. She's a connector,
Yeah.
and she sees things in people. I have the utmost respect for that woman. She is so. Somewhere I heard that the definition of intelligence or the level of someone's intelligence is their ability to see the whole picture, right? We don't get stuck
Overview.
on little things and you know compartmentalize, but the ability to see it, and she can just see it. She's a visionary, really, and so when she saw that in me, it's just I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, and just to even she's the chair of our board, so I've been able to work with her
the food
closely.
bank?
She is, yes. And this is her last year being chair, and so, but we've grown really close, and I've seen her in her professional capacity and what she does, what she's done for Adventus and for Recology and for Yuba-Water, and she's an amazing person. So,
But she's a real girl.
she
is real, you know. And I met Jackie when she was with Recology, and you know we had some different conversations. I wrote some spots that were like 2 minutes long, but they told a story. And so I explained to Jackie what I was doing. I said, no, regular commercial radio wouldn't run this. It'd be too ridiculous. But she got these actors. She knows actors and actresses from the community, and they played out. I did a thing called Sheriff Rickology.
that is so cool.
And it was on the plains of the Yuba-Sutter. And it was like these pioneer things, right? And,
That's awesome.
And so Jackie understood what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
And then so they did it, and we ran it. I ran 3 of them. It was like a series. And then I wanted to switch it up, but she had moved on, but I wanted to switch it up to detective. Rickology.
That's so cool.
Just the facts, ma'am.
That's so
right?
funny.
And so, but she's you're right. She's able to see beyond that. You know, beyond just what you can approach her with something that is not the way we always have done it.
Right.
And Jackie's far enough along. She doesn't go, no, we always did it that way. Which you know, really, sometimes it's good to hang on to things, but you have to move things forward. And you've had to step into that with the food bank.
Right.
It's going forward.
It is.
And so you're able to see where there's going to even be maybe greater need and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, you have to do that and then have to learn everything. Do you have an assistant?
I do. Well, she's not technically not my assistant, but she's more than that. She's more than my assistant. But Abby, Abby is awesome.
You have to have that. It's not a one-man show.
Yeah,
None of it.
Abby and Kathy, and I've got a great staff behind me. So, for sure. So we're just trying to navigate what it looks like now after COVID, because really our food bank was formed as an employee-run food bank during COVID, and all of the programs and all of the funding that came to make it what it is today were as a result of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And so now my job is to look forward and look at what does the funding look like now that we don't have the COVID funding, and what does the need look like, and what can we do? What is the best way to serve the most people? Because there's so many people that need the food bank. People, working families that are just needing that extra help. And we want people to know that yes, we do serve the unhoused, and we do, partner with agencies that do that. But it's also for, your next door neighbor that just can't make the car payment this month. You know what I mean? It's just,
I don't know if I had that conversation with you or if it was with Michelle, but I asked that, people think the food bank is just, but what if you can't pay your PG&E bill?
Yeah.
Come get some food and use the money you would have spent.
Right.
I watched the Republican National Convention, and I was amazed how many times it came up, food prices. I know they've raised, but they literally were showing percentage. And I thought, my gosh, and then gas, right? So they touched electricity. So main things that all of us got to put gas in the car, electricity, right? And then the food prices were ridiculous. I couldn't believe how much it raised. So knowing that, and I hope people, maybe we can run a spot that somehow we say, hey, look, I'd rather you come over to the food bank and get food and pay your PG&E bill.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And there's no shame in it. I think there's I don't know what you'd call a stigma that, hey, if I got to go to the food bank, right? But it's like, you know what? You might get better food at the food bank than you've been getting other places.
Right.
I mean, I hate to say that, but I went in there and I was like, I got invited to something. Dave Shaw invited me, some event that was actually in the food bank.
Was it for dinner? It was for the dinner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the dinner at the food bank.
And I was just blown away.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just amazing.
It's like a giant grocery store.
It is.
It is.
And it's like, wow. And for one thing, I didn't know it was that big.
Yeah.
And
it's
so
huge.
my wife and I went, and we were really impressed by it. So I am going to ask this, and that is, so I know you get grants and you get, money comes in. So do you guys have a regular fundraiser and source? And I know you have incredible volunteers. I think of Tom Walter and others. I mean, they just come in and help all the time.
They do.
Which permits you to do that. But what do you do for fundraising?
So we have the evening at the food bank, and so the last one we had was in February, and we actually partnered with the Yuba City High School ceramics class, and they made bowls for us. So we did a no empty bowls fundraiser. So that will continue to happen because the high school ceramics class has actually written that into their curriculum now. So they'll be working on those bowls, which is super exciting. But we have another fundraiser. It's coming out on September 6th out at Hard Rock. And it's a variety show, and it's called Lights, Camera, Hunger, Action, because September is Hunger Action Month. And so we have local performers. They're going to be performing, and so that's happening on September 6th. So there's sponsorship opportunities. Tickets are available.
Did it already go live? I haven't heard of it yet.
So we're just starting to kind of pump it out. It's going around social media, but we're going to be doing a pretty big push. September 6th. It'll be super fun.
So you need to call and get in why we can still book you. Yeah, so you get on the air.
Yeah.
I actually just got to play at the Hard Rock. It was quite an experience, and it was the after party for Tyler Rich.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just, you don't always see that side of a casino, right? Mm-hmm. You go eat, game a little, blah, blah, blah. But when you go to the concert, that's great. But I didn't even know they did that. And I got asked to do that. And I was like, this is fun.
Yeah.
But it was late for me. It was like
Way past your
12:30.
bedtime.
I know.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
make it to the after party.
Yeah, are you kidding?
Like tired.
And so my wife was like, "Can we go home now?"
seriously.
Because I had just finished playing, and actually Tyler Rich came in and played with Virgil. It was really cool.
that's
Oh my
awesome.
gosh, it was very cool.
Yeah.
But it was like, yeah, but I like it out there. It's a great venue. And so you guys will be going out there for that, which is such a great thing. So yeah, we'll get together and do something about that.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We're excited about it.
Well, is there anything else that you would like to say or ask Maria? Since I have,
Look at you.
Sharing.
So nice to share your show with me.
I'm never going to live this down, am I?
Ever.
Ever.
No, I mean, I think that the food bank is just one of those things that not every community has one that's as available to them. And so you guys are huge. What you're doing is huge. I wish more people knew, because I'll say something, just in passing to somebody about the food bank, and they'll go, "We have a food bank."
I know.
It's like, how do we get word out more that we have a food bank, and that, like you said, it's available to everybody. When did the food bank get established?
1983.
So it's been here this whole time, and people
1983.
do not know about it.
It was established as a gleaners organization.
I was just going to say it was a Gleaners.
Yeah.
I remember them.
Lot smaller scale back
Yeah.
then, and it was run by completely volunteer run up until 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was much smaller scale, and like I said, once COVID came, a lot more started happening. And then there's legislation now, it's called SB 1383, that requires grocery stores to donate food. They're trying to eliminate waste.
Oh, that's
so
huge.
grocery stores are being much more proactive with their cycling out of the food. And so we are receiving quite a bit of food as a result
Wow.
of that.
So that best if used by.
Yeah, and we get it before that date.
Yeah.
But that's
like
really not
around
right.
there. Right around there. So like if it says, it'll say sell by.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah,
say
yeah.
sell by, July 13th. We'll get it on the 11th because
Yeah.
they don't want to play. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because they got to bring in the new.
Yeah.
So, but
But it's still good
still
for
great.
a long time.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, if you grow up poor enough, you know that food is still good long past
Oh,
long
yeah.
past your
Oh,
sell-by
yeah.
date. It's
yeah.
not.
Oh, yeah. For
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
Yeah, I read an article on that because I was like, well, how do I know, what to keep? And oh my gosh, it's been here since 1972. Probably time to get rid of
That might be a little
that
dicey.
can of beans is going to be
That
rough.
ketchup in your door might be expired.
This is not an MRE. Okay, this is-
Those last forever.
Yeah, they do. So yeah, and I read it and I was kind of surprised. So they have regulations that say they have a sell by date or best by date, but actually it listed all the different things that are good for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
After the date,
That's easily
that's
accessible
available.
online.
I do want to mention the farmers that I know that at one point, I think it was during COVID, they like pulled up with a flatbed full of rice.
Yes, and
I
we
mean,
did get that
just-
again. The Yuba River Endowment gives us a whole bunch of
Oh,
rice.
is that who it is? We just had them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They give us a whole bunch of rice for the folks in Yuba County. Yeah.
Come on, that's
Yeah.
just.
Yeah,
And
it's
so,
awesome.
and the food bank is in Yuba City, but it covers both counties.
Right. So we are recognized by the state of California as the food bank for Yuba and Sutter County.
Okay.
Yeah.
And volunteer-wise, you guys have employees, but you run a lot of your programs
Oh,
with volunteers.
thousands of
So you guys are
volunteers.
always in need of volunteers.
Absolutely. Always in
Because
need.
somebody always is sick on a route or something
Right.
comes up.
Right.
Or,
Right. And just the food distributions that we perform in the community are huge. I mean, there is such a huge need. They're drive-through typically, and that started in COVID, which was a blessing.
Yeah.
So hundreds and hundreds of cars. So we need people and we need hands to get the food into people's cars, and then in the warehouse we always need help with sorting and bagging produce.
So you actually still deliver food to people?
We bring it to distribution sites. We don't do door to door.
Oh,
anymore.
okay.
Yeah, we
I
have.
was saying instead of Uber,
yeah.
they'd be Foodber.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like, they're going around, right?
Yeah,
There's
we
a
don't
way
have
to
the-
get it to people.
Yeah.
I know we had when I pastored the church, we had a food closet, and we'd get stuff from the gleaners and that, and then people would give to it. So I was looking at it because we keep in there the list for food bank, what days different ones are giving, so that people can know that, right?
Right.
And are there times when the number of people that come to the food bank or desire from the food bank? I always think of Thanksgiving and Christmas. Everybody's like, hey, let's give them a turkey. But it's like there are needs consistently.
Oh, consistent need. Yes, absolutely. All year round. All year round there's a need. And we do, so if you wanted to, I was going to mention, since you had mentioned the list of the pantries and our partner pantries that receive food from us that feed the people as well. Our list is always updated on our website, Facebook and our website. It's
probably got an old list.
Yeah, so you can always find food like every day of the week.
Yeah.
That fish, there's no food here. They've been closed for 6 months.
But you think about, locally the schools now have food programs, but when the kids are out of school, there's families that can't feed their kids on their own, at least, not 3 square meals a day. So
right.
They can come get food at the food bank. I know that Yuba City Unified did a school lunch program where they were, going out and providing lunches.
Right.
But I think those are things that not everybody thinks about, right? Like, okay, great, the kids are home on break, but now you've got more mouths to feed that are normally, get breakfast and lunch at school.
Right, because some kids, that's the only real meal that they get.
Yeah.
So and we do partner with a lot of the schools around here and so they do their own food distribution to the families. Usually after school, they'll do that, and so that's another supplement that we do with the schools. But yep, you got that right. Summers can be challenging, and it's very busy in the summer for us as well.
For you guys,
yeah. And it's busy at Christmas. It's busy all the time at the food bank.
Yeah.
Christmas are popular.
The end of the year is probably the most, though. That's when a lot. We're blessed to get a lot of donations at that time, but there's a huge need at that time as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think the idea that you don't have to be. I don't know how else to put it. There's no reason to go hungry.
Right.
There is no reason in our area to go hungry. There is food available.
Right.
And so making people aware of that. So maybe we'll run a spot. Let's do something. Let's talk about it where we can have a regular spot that just says, hey, the food bank, blah, blah, blah. I think we could do that.
Okay.
And I think that would be good because a lot of stuff, Maria, it's just keeping it in front of people.
Sure.
It's like we do this because we want them to know you're real.
Right.
And you're very real. You were definitely
keeping it real.
We didn't even pinch you, but we know you're real.
I'm not doing that. So, all right. So thanks for coming in.
Yeah,
and
it's fun.
We appreciate it. You taking the time to do that. And I know when I called you, I was very grateful that you were excited to come. So you get the coveted in the tank cup.
I love it.
You have experienced the tank.
Very good.
It matches your shirt.
Oh,
look at that.
I planned it.
Yeah, we called ahead.
Awesome. Oh, this feels nice too.
It's nice.
It's got a nice.
Yeah, I can't
nice
take
feel
credit
to
for that. That was 100% Kelly.
Of course.
I mean, people know that.
Why do I bother?
We know this about Kelly.
Details are important.
Yes, yes.
So
awesome.
thanks so much,
Thank
Maria,
you.
for coming on. I'm gonna have in post-production, he's gonna play "Take a Letter, Maria" or something.
Right. Don't you promise something that Kurt's not going to want to do.
Yeah. Kurt will be like,
He's
no,
making
not.
promises for you, Kurt. Sorry.
He said, just leave me alone. I sit back here. I'm fine. Well, listen, we want to thank you for watching. We appreciate Maria for coming in. And we do hope that you'll recognize that we have a local food bank that is more than just food. It's to help you so that if there is something else that you're struggling with financially, instead of, and I know the cost of food right now is very high, they are okay with you coming to get food. And then also you can go online, which, what was that again?
feedingyS.org.
feedingyS.org, and then you can find out where each little food closet or whatever is open, when food is distributed and where distributed. Did I say distributed? Did I say that?
I was just going to let you roll
Were
with
you
it. Add that to the blooper reel,
me?
please, Kurt.
You're my friend. You're supposed to get.
You
Dude,
left me with the booger last
you
week.
just said distributed. Anyway, we'll be right back. But again, want to thank Maria for coming in. Want to thank the food bank for doing what it does. And I want to thank Kelly for being there for me. 93Q Radio was an opportunity for what's called an LPFM to give the community a voice.
The big part of what's happening here is it's us. It's the community of us.
The work that Mr. Fischetti has done with us to promote public education has been absolutely groundbreaking.
They have the pulse of our community, from the nonprofits to the local governments. If you want to find out what's happening in our community, get on board with 93Q.
And 93Q does so much to help our community, helps us promote our local events, as well as local businesses, and tell our story about what we do here in Yuba-Sutter.
The folks that work here, they're part of our community, so they understand our needs, and that's important.
Local radio is so important during times of emergency. They're there. We lean on them to provide information to our public.
My wife and I are glad to support 93Q. We're going to do it on a monthly basis, but I really recommend that if you want to make your community better, this is a great place to take a first step right here.
So if you can, reach deep in your pocket and give to 93Q.
93Q is a great partner for law enforcement, and they're a great partner for the Yuba-Sutter area.
We're really asking people if you can give $10, $15, $20 a month, and then that enables us to continue to put small business spots on the air, nonprofits, organizations that they're using every dollar they got just to operate, and they don't have extra money to spend on really promoting their cause. And that is why community radio, to me, I'm grateful to be part of it, and that's why it's important. All right, we're back, and I am with none other than the Minnow. And we just got done talking to Maria Ball. Great lady, just really a great lady. And I really wasn't planning on talking that much about the food bank, but she's passionate. She wants everybody to get fed.
Well, and I think it's one of those things that's so important. It's, something that's not always talked about, but really necessary. Mm-hmm. And you could see how much she loved it. And it's clearly a part of her. So, I know we're, trying not to talk a lot about it, but I think it's deeply ingrained into part of who she is now. It's in her fabric. And so,
I think that's part of it, finding out who people are. Like, we're kind of, digging in and asking them. And in her particular case, that is...
She is the food bank.
She's like, she is the food bank. Like she's found their niche.
Yeah.
Right? I think we're still looking for ours. We have a niche.
I don't know.
We have a niche.
It's hard to say.
I'm sure we have something.
You're good at music. I'm good at bread.
So what part of that did you just go, I didn't know that about her? But you've known her, so maybe not.
I've known her, but I haven't had a lot of one-on-one time with her. I've had, event time with her. And I think it's different when you sit down, especially she's a self-proclaimed extrovert. And so, extroverts, they're not on in a way that they're fake, just they're on, right? They're extroverting. Versus me, I'm
like, is that a word, extroverting?
It is now, yeah. Versus me, I'm like, ooh, I have to go extrovert. I'll make this fast, and then I can come introvert. But so I think you get to I got to see a different side to her. I didn't know about her kids. I knew about her husband Ted because I've met him out at events. But
she cracked me up with I bought this house. And I don't even think she was a real estate agent when she bought her home.
It didn't sound like it.
And then it's like, but we're still here.
But we're never moving.
We're never moving, man. We're happy.
I feel that in my soul. I despise moving houses. All that packing and unpacking is not for me.
That's not going to happen.
Especially, you said you've been in your house 30 years.
Yeah.
Could you imagine all the stuff you'd have to box up?
I still have my kids' stuff in the attic. I keep telling them, come get your stuff, right?
Yeah.
Get their stuff in the attic. Get it out of here, right?
No, that's just part of being a parent. I think you get to keep their stuff forever.
Yeah. Yeah, but when I die, they'll have an estate sale, and my kids will be, no, that's mine.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was in the house. We signed it up.
That's my coloring book.
Because one of the things is my son's got a box, pretty good sized box of football, baseball cards. And, you always, I don't know if the market's still there for that, but he had, whole sets never opened.
Yeah.
And
well, and who has the time to go through them? So that's funny you say that. I actually had 2 file boxes worth of trading cards because when we were kids, my brother and I, that's what we did. Wow. We'd go up, ride our bikes to 7-Eleven. First, we'd count out and roll pennies, and then we'd ride our bikes to 7-Eleven. You could get the trading card sets, and they came with bubble gum.
Oh, I love the gum.
I know, and it was probably like the worst gum ever.
Probably, yeah.
Like it was, lost its flavor in 30 seconds. Yeah.
It's like gone.
So
it's like,
good.
What? I gotta buy another one.
Now I gotta buy another pack. So we had boxes.
They had kids addicted to the bubble gum.
Right? So we had boxes and boxes of trading cards. Well, years ago, my kids got into Pokemon cards.
No.
And I was like, oh, if you guys are into cards right now. And I hauled them down from storage, and they were just like, oh, yeah. So they spent days on their bedroom floors going through all these cards, and we had like WrestleMania cards, and we like random ones that somehow like, where'd this golfer come from? We were buying baseball cards specifically, but yeah, it's funny the things you find.
I'm gonna go rummage through Kelly's attic. Is what I'm gonna do.
You can have the cards. The kids have already pulled out what they wanted.
Listen, we want to thank you guys for watching. Again, we are on 93Q TV, and you can leave comments down there. And please be kind in the comments. Kelly's very fragile.
Oh, please. I am the least fragile of the two of us.
Yeah, I'm pretty thinking that's probably right. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you the next episode. I never know what number. I think I just make up something.
Yeah, I make up another one.
All right, we're 37 3/4 of the way into this, and that'll be the next episode. Again, thanks so much. Fish and Minnow in the tank.